How's it going, everybody? This is Linkkleet with Marines with Shiny Shovels, and today I am just going to be painting some of my Deathshroud terminators and a Helbrute, my Plague Helbrute, and my Blight Hauler as well. And figure I just come on for about an hour or two just to finish these guys up. I do have a video on YouTube how far I got on these guys, but I do want to finish them up today. So what I'm going to do is, while we are starting, I'm going to actually go ahead and prime the Blight Hauler and also the Helbrute. And as you come in to take a look at the channel, welcome. And if you need to chat about anything, I mean, today is just relax and just chatting. So basically the reason why I'm doing this video is to test some equipment as well as to start painting these guys. We played a game last week, and unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say last week, it was actually on Sunday, but unfortunately it was like super beginner type level. We used the Warhammer boxes for terrain, and things just didn't work out as well as I thought they would. So one thing that I did get criticism on was that our figures were actually not painted, so it was kind of hard to tell what was going on at what time, and I completely understand that. So, and I've been wanting to paint these figures for a while now, and that gives me a way to come back and actually and sorry, OBS is saying that it keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, so alright, there we go. And make sure our stream is still going. There we go. Okay, sorry, I'm actually watching the stream as well. So, let me get this guy out of the way. And as I said, I'm just priming my Helbrute right now, and going to be priming my Blight Hauler as well. Let's see, so OBS is having some issues. I'm going to check some settings here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream here for just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see if we're back up and running. Sorry about that. And still work in progress, but okay. Alright. So enough testing, so I'm going to keep working on my Helbrute here. And I noticed that it's actually a little latent, but okay, now we're getting somewhere. So, sorry for all the technical difficulties. Like I said, this is a work in progress, so... But anyway, if you want to go ahead and hop on and chat, definitely feel free to. This is pretty much all we're going to be doing today. And just painting and testing out equipment. Every Sunday we actually have a Warhammer actual game. And working on some terrain as well. Probably won't have this Sunday ready to go, but definitely next Sunday. This Sunday we should actually have the orcs available for one of our guests to actually play, which will be actually pretty exciting. That'll be the Orc Combat Patrol versus the Death Guard, who's versing the Space Marines and also the Astra Militarum. So that will be fun. And yeah. So if you're watching the stream and you just want to chat about anything, definitely feel free to come in and chat. But right now, as I said, I'm just priming my Helbrute, which is going pretty well. And I use a paintbrush primer. I am ordering a spray primer for some other stuff, but I may use it for these bigger guys as well. And I have quite a few big guys I gotta do. So far, this one's actually going pretty good. And I would say my favorite faction to play is definitely Chaos, but the Death Guard specifically. Just because, you know, they're disgusting boys that they're just putrid, vile, and all that, and I'm kind of weird guy, so that just appeals to me. And I know a lot of people are in school right now, so that's probably why nobody's really reacting on the chat. But Helbrute's almost done. Got a little too much primer on the face. Let me see if I can fix that. I'll show you right here. And looks like our stream is actually, again, lagging a little bit. It's probably because of the internet. One thing we're going to change to is that we're going to go directly to the modem, which will keep the internet actual connection actually going, because I'm doing it on Wi-Fi right now. So there's that. And you can also find us on YouTube at Marines with Shiny Shovels. And we'll start doing some streams on there as well. But for right now, just doing Twitch, and you know, even if nobody's on right now, I'm actually having fun. So this Helbrute's actually going to come out really nicely. Just priming them before I get back to the Deathshroud terminators, because primer takes a few minutes to actually start getting not sticky. But yeah, if you're popping into the actual stream, just go ahead and chat about whatever you want to chat about. One thing I want to just talk about is, I'm not sure if anybody here watches Demon Slayer, but just got done watching the latest season of the Sword Village arc, and that was actually pretty badass. So and you may hear cats and stuff in the background. I apologize for that. Our cats are upstairs, and we're not doing a game right now, so figure I'd let them roam around, do whatever they want. We have 5 of them. Alright, so our Helbrute is actually pretty set to go. Let me just get a quick swig of coffee here. Alright, so we're going to put him over here to work on our Blight Hauler right now. And one thing I love doing is painting these miniatures as well as building them. So far I've got a really big army of stuff. I would say if I put everything together, I could probably easily do a 3,000 point game, as long as it's not one Chaos faction. It has, or chapter, but most of my stuff is actually Death Guard stuff, so there is that. And look at me getting primer on the table, yay! I'll wash that off later. Just because parts of this Blight Hauler actually have some pointy parts that actually make the stuff flick off. And I forgot that the Blight Hauler actually was a peg setup. I'm not too thrilled about the models with the peg setups. I know they don't require glue, but at the same time, some of their stuff doesn't look as good as with the glue, just because the glue kind of, as long as you're doing it right, keeps everything flush and looking good, where the pegs sometimes don't. That's why I love gluing models together, not just the peg stuff. This Blight Hauler is maybe about 2/3 of the way coated. Time for just a tad bit more primer. Still got this whole side to do, but it should be easier now that I got the pain in the butt missiles done. And I'll show you what I mean about the pegs here in a second. I actually see a section that's not tight, and there's nothing I can do about it. But if you look at the back right here, it's not fully flush to it. That's what I was talking about. The things I like to do, I love working on these models. I like miniatures in general. My favorite miniature I ever did was a mimic wardrobe that was for D&D, and it came out like probably my best model ever. Let's see, I just gotta check something. Okay, we're good. Thought I flicked some of the primer on the actual camera. That wouldn't have been good. So, alright, just finishing this guy up for his prime. Gotta get the two bottom things here. just this ring around the gun, and we should be good. Just double checking everything. Got this tread over here too. So far, out of all the factions, we have the Death Guard. I've got the Chaos Marines battle set, or sorry, combat patrol that I still have to finish. Those instructions are just chaotic. No pun intended or anything. It's just them part numbers don't match what the actual instructions show. So it's kind of like, okay, pick and choose. But yeah, I have the World Eaters coming on Monday for their combat patrol, but I do have some Berserkers, and I do have Khorne, Lord of Skulls. So he's one of my favorite models. Next to Mortarion. Alright, so there we go. Got our Blight Hauler all situated. So I'm going to put that boy over here. Trying to get some of this primer off the table here. Yeah, I should be able to wash that off later. That's not a big deal. Alright. So now, it's going to work on these Deathshroud terminators. One thing I notice is that this part right here is missing some green, so I'm going to make our green here. After our sweet coffee. And I need green and white. Where's my white? There's my white. And actually, I will hold off a little bit for this because I want to get a lot of green and white together to work on all the units. So I'll hold off on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on his breathing apparatus. Already got the shoulders done, so all these tubes and everything. And his scythe. And he's got like a little bug on top of here too that I need to get. So what I'm going to do for that is for his scythe, or all their scythes, I'm going to use a flat brown, just for the bandage part of things. Just getting the water off my brush here. Okay. So, let's go ahead and get this brown going. Yeah, that looks good. Now these guys, if you don't know, pretty much like all Terminators have the deep strike ability, which I think sometimes can be a little bit overpowered. But of course they are Terminators at the same time, so Terminators are overpowered. But if you don't know what the deep strike ability does, basically you keep these units on reserve unless you have a special like teleporter. And if you come to the next turn and all that and bring your units in, Then from reserve, they can be within 9 inches, anywhere on the board, within 9 inches or more uh, from the actual enemy. So, and they put a lot of hurt on stuff. Mainly infantry and units, but not so much vehicles and all that, but they can put hurt on a lot of things. Just getting this guy's little scythe area right here done. Let's see that. Let's do him. Alright. So it takes care of that. So now I'm just looking at this guy and I'm looking at his little thing, his little cloth, loincloth thing right there. Well, not loincloth, but it looks like a little bit of chainmail with some, needs something metallic on there. So I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do for that. And yeah, other than that, need to paint his spikes, everybody's spikes a different color. So I'm done with the brown for now. So I'll just put that in the water here. One more swig of coffee. Let's see here. I feel like kind of like a dirty yellow for the top of their excuse me, for the top of their size. Not for the handles, but for their actual tops right here. Kind of see like pipes and stuff like that. I'm trying to see if I have a dirtier yellow. I've got gold, and I don't want to use gold for that. I think this yellow will do. Test this out. This is Amarillo Khaki. See how this looks. That's a little light, but it should be good for what we're doing here. Go ahead and use this brush for this. Get all that water off. There we are. And see how this looks. Just gonna do it on the handle, or the handle guard, I should say. And actually, it doesn't look half bad. I'll show you here in a second. It's kind of like a subtle yellow. But as you can see right there, It's not quite gold, it's not quite yellow, just a subtle little yellow. And it goes down to here. Get that on the other side as well. These spikes on the very top here. One thing I know about these units is they're very spiky. And a little bit of the guard down here. And goes over here to the actual scythe. I see. Only on one side though. And I feel like doing the same thing down at the bottom here. So still no viewers yet, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do the same color for this for his little jetpack here, or jump pack. That's actually looking pretty good. And why not? Where the mouth tongue comes down, I'm actually going to do that right there too, kind of a sandy stone look, because I don't really have anything else that would mesh with that. Let me just, and I can always paint a different color if it doesn't look good. quite that good, so I'll paint it a different color, as you can see right here. But I thought I'd give it a shot. So now to do the other guys with this color. This is looking pretty good. This guy is actually holding the scythe sideways, so I'm going to do that little knob that he has right there, little handle. And I'll fix that up when I get the green going. Get these spikes right here. Top of the scythe. And now that's looking good, so now I'm going to go ahead and, well, we got to fix one little area right here. Okay, now I'm going to do the bottom of the scythe. And he'll have a white claw coming out of it. Do the hand for him yet, for down there. That's what that green's going to be for. Okay. Now on his chainmail he has 3 little dots, and I'm going to put this color on his dots, see what that looks like. Now that actually looks pretty cool. So I'm also going to use this color for his legs. Not full legs, but just some of the leg armor where it separates. Because I think that, you know, like right there, I think that that's going to come out good if I do that. Just the subtle stuff usually helps out a lot. Now, I may do the breathing apparatuses with the same color. I'm still undecided about that. But very possible maybe. I'm going to do the same thing I did with that last guy with the legs for this guy that I did before. And made a little mistake there, but I can fix that up with green. What I like about these paints is that they actually dry pretty quick, so that makes things a lot easier. What doesn't make things easy is I have a cat that's loving on my leg right now, as much as I appreciate it. She's rubbing on it, and I'm trying to concentrate. Alright. That's actually looking pretty good on the lakefront. Now, I'm going to test the breathing apparatus actually to see if I'm going to keep using this color or not. Let's see here. Looks like a little mustache. So what I'm going to do is I'll do behind his head here with this color, but I'll make it like a black or silver going up for the tubes, and then I'll do the middle with this yellow color. Okay, so all the tubes on this guy are going to be like a different color. I still got to figure out what to do for his front little chainmail loincloth area. Alright, let's get this before this paint dries. I know that people that use a little board or a wet board to keep their paints wet, and that's a good idea. You can make a homemade one too, but I just like using the paints right away, and I usually don't leave much paint over, so try to use as much of it as I possibly can. Just doing the scythe handle guard. the scythe itself there. Get that little handle that he's holding. Alright. And now I'll get the bottom of his scythe. Now I just want to say a lot of these videos will go up on YouTube as well, so if you miss a stream, don't feel bad about it. Try to record all of them that I can. And every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, we actually play the actual game as well. And we're still learning the game a little bit, but it's actually a pretty fun game. So I think I'm going to do the same thing for both these guys. For the breathing apparatus, it's just in the center. It's going to be all yellow, this amarillo, khaki. Yeah, that's looking good. Oops, sorry, I hooked that one with the other scythe. Alright, so now I'm looking at their guns on their arms, and I'm trying to think about what color I want to make those. Something flashy comes to mind, but I'm done with that color, so let's put that in the water there. One more swig of coffee. Okay. So I feel like let's try this azure color. Now these are Vallejo paints that I'm using, not Citadel. As much as I want to use Citadel, Citadel is just expensive. And excuse me for just a moment, I need to sneeze. Or not. I felt like I needed to. Alright, so this is kind of like a sky blue meets a baby blue. Gonna see what this looks like on their guns. Get that water off there. Now this guy doesn't have one. This guy has two. See how this looks. And actually, that's not too bad. It's like a deadly super soaker. But I always want colors that actually don't blend in too much to the actual model, so you can know exactly what they're actually holding. He's got 1, 2. Now some people are probably going, well, this is supposed to be like icky people and all that. And, you know, I agree with you, but I want to make it look good too. I think the green actually says enough about them. And I know I didn't do the khaki on the legs of this guy, which I will later. But for right now, I'm just taking a look at if there's anywhere else I can use this blue on these guys, and I don't think there is. So what I'm going to do is I have blue and brown that need to be used. And I'm going to look at this big Helbrute here. See if there's anywhere I can use the blue. That's going to be green. I think I'll use it on his back hydraulics. Because his primer is pretty much set now, so I won't be given much issue. Other than that, I don't see where else I would use the blue, unless I do his actual cables. But I feel like those should be kind of a red color. And I'm talking about the cables on the sides. So that's it for the blue on that one. I need blue on the actual plate crawler. And I'm not seeing anywhere to use blue on that, so unfortunately the blue is going to be done with. So now I gotta figure out with the brown, and I don't see anywhere right off the bat that the brown would actually work, but I do see, well, we should actually work on the green now, because we're almost an hour in and I haven't touched the green. Let me just move these guys a little bit back so they're not crowding the camera there. There we go. Use a lot of green with this. Gonna need it. And then get some white in there to make that lovely plague color. Let's do one more drop. Okay. And time to get this on both these big guys and also on the hand of one of the Deathshroud terminators. Let's look for a brush that's not completely wasted. Okay. And I want a big brush because I have a lot to actually work with. Alright, let's mix this all together. Kind of make a lighter green, an oozy green if you will. That looks good. Let's start with the Plague Crawler on this. Actually, before I do anything, before I forget, let's do this guy. He's just got a little area on his hand where he's holding the scythe. Just a teeny tiny little area. Be very careful with this. And it was a little too big of a brush, but you'll see it right there, and I can fix that end easily with that emerald later. Right, time for the Plague Crawler. See, this brush actually does really well, and I'll show you here in a second, by covering big areas. And I'll go to a smaller brush after that. Take a look at that while I'm doing there. And that's just from one brush worth of paint. This guy is not going to have very many colors just because he's a unit that doesn't have very many colors. Alright. I think that came out pretty good with that paint. Now for the Helbrute. Gonna have to be more delicate with this guy. Actually, I can just paint his whole shoulder here, and I can paint over it. That makes things a little bit easier. his footsies. Get his gauntlet. Alright, get his other footsie. Then get his thigh armor. That'll pretty much do it for his green. Let you guys see that. Alright, time to get another brush, a thinner brush. Look at everybody that I can see with the green. See if there's anywhere I can improve it. Not seeing much. Little dab right here. Little dab on his gauntlet. And he looks pretty good too. Alright, that's it for the green. One more swig of coffee. I only have one more sip of coffee left, so after that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with white right now. Because there's actually areas where I want to put white on. And mainly it's going to be the horns, or yeah, the horns of all these guys. This guy, and this guy's teeth. Or I should say spikes, not horns, but... So just need a few little dabs. A little bit will go pretty far. This will work. Start with this guy. Get his little teeth. And as you can see, got his teeth. Okay, let's get all your spikes here. Okay, now this guy. Okay, I think that's all the spikes for him. Oh, then I actually see somewhere where I can actually, he has a skull. Right down on a little area right there. And I see a place that needs more green. So I'll use this brush over here that fell out. There we go. Oops. And a little bit right here. Not sure how I missed that, but on this side too. Alright. And I already got his teeth. Now the white for his little horns up top. These actually are horns. Little teeny tiny little baby horns. And then his little spikes on his shoulders. Okay. And that will do it for that. Alright. And don't worry, that's not an air raid siren if you hear it or not. That's actually just town one. Oops, and I actually, but that's just the town one to say that's 6 o'clock. There's actually one at noon, one at 6, so, and one at 7 in the morning. Just get rid of all this green because I see one little area that needs some white. Otherwise, it won't look complete without it. I mean, how's he going to eat his enemies if he doesn't have shiny teeth? Yeah. Alright. So, on in the next phase, I'm going to actually incorporate some red, and then I'm going to mix it together with the white to make a fleshy color. Because what I want to do is on this guy, I want to put red on his eye, and then make a fleshy colored tongue. So just a couple drops right next to the white. Let them intermingle just a little bit. get just a dab of that red. Go for his eye. A little bit of green I need to put on there because I got the red just a little too much on his eyes, or around his eye. Okay, we'll mix this together. Make a fleshy pink color. Put it on his tongue here. Oops, I need some more white too. Made a little mistake there. Actually, that kind of works because I want to get a little bit of red to kind of put it on his fangs anyway to kind of look like he's eating his enemies. Matter of fact, I want to put some red on the sides too. See, just a little splotch of red. See, not too much, just little splotches. And then I see some on the inside here. I'm going to hone that back a little bit. So that way it kind of looks like he just had a fresh meal. Then I got a little too much pink on here. I'm going to do this on the sides as well. Just fine little details. That makes a model look really good when you do all those fine little details. Alright. So that's all I have for my red. I'm only going to be streaming for about maybe another half hour, 40 minutes before I call it good. Okay, now I'm going to go for, well, gold will do last. Let's do yellow. Actually, do I want to do yellow or orange? Actually, I'm going to do black, believe it or not. And black's going to be for the guns and the claws of this guy. And then the guns for this guy. Or gun, I should say. And I do want to do red on what I just noticed. So get this going. water out because that makes it a little too slippery. Alright. What I'm doing is I'm just doing his little missiles. It would help if this was actually a little bit more thin, but it's okay. I'll make do. Get this little guy over here. That top section right there. Okay, good enough. Good enough. So I got the missiles going right here. Alright, so I was going to do black next, which I am going to do. I don't want that big of a brush, definitely not that big of a brush. This will do. Get this out of the way there. Let's see. Sorry, I just got little windows pop up. Alright. And just gotta take care of something real quick. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. So, time for the black. Almost got this situated here. One thing I'll say about this color is it makes it really easy to color it because there's really not many colors involved. So once we do black, then we'll go ahead and do yellow. And I think that's where we'll stop the stream after I get that yellow in there. I need a little bit more black, looks like. To do that green while I'm thinking about it. There's one little teeny tiny little area on this guy is missing green. So there we go. Alright, so let me get some more black here. So I definitely need to do his treads too. But let's do that. Gotta get this gun done before I go to the treads. There we go, that's looking better. This top tread right here. Tread again. There we go. Tread here. here. And tread here. And then get his hydraulics over this way. Hydraulics here. Alright, and then I'm also going to do yellow on the top here. There's a tube back here that I'm actually going to do black. Alright. And his rocket launcher. Try to color in as much as I can a little black area so it showcases the missiles. That should be good. Yeah, it looks like a dirty little area. And then get the back here. Okay. And more green. Told you, could never have enough green for these guys. Alright, I'm going to see if I can actually get a little bit more of this space. Okay, that actually worked out pretty well. So if you see, there's actually little missiles right there. Okay, that guy's almost done. Time for the smokestacks and the gauntlet of this guy. A little bit more black. And when I say gauntlet, I mean his hand. I'm also going to color then these guns on top of his gauntlet. after that, I believe I have one more area to color in black. And then go into yellow, and then we'll call it a day. Yep, it just says smokestacks. And I need more green. Alright. Let me get that green going. As you can see, his back has no green. So we gotta fix that. And just in time, because that green is starting to dry up. Alright. Little area I need to put some green on here. And over here. Never enough green. Alright. So now we're down to just the yellow. And the yellow's going to kind of give, you know, that kind of goldish color, but without being gold. Because if you want to know what gold looks like, it looks like that. But for these guys, actually, I am going to go ahead and use gold for this guy. And this guy, okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Just because I want them to be very special. Here we go. Here's some gold. Gold, actually. Let me just mix that together a little bit. There we go. It was just a little bit liquidy. Too big of a brush. I got lots of brushes, don't I? Okay, here's one that actually hasn't even been open yet. Okay. I keep calling him Plague Hauler too. It's actually Blight Hauler. But these guys are great for taking down like Helbrutes and stuff like that. They're not necessarily anti-vehicle, but they can definitely give a vehicle some problems. So I'm just going to do a few little areas here. Mainly detail work. Get the little spiky areas that are around the guns. And the top of them. Then a couple more areas here. So let's go ahead and highlight this. Then this. Then his front treads, he's just got a little area here that should be highlighted. I see a place I can use a little green, go figure. I'll get that before the green completely dries out. Go. Okay, perfect. Alright. And just a little highlight where the guns are at. And on the tops of these things. Try to be getting all them details. That one for green again. Okay. Check that boy out. He is done. So the next part I'm going to do is just the last part. This Helbrute's head right here. It's got like a little crown on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just color in that crown. Alright, I got his little head. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a video here, guys. If you did come into the stream, I thank you for watching. I'll upload so far what I got done on YouTube as well. And as I said before, to those that didn't hear it, is that on Sundays from 1 p.m. till about 4 or 5, 4 to 6, depending p.m. Central Standard Time, we play Warhammer, the actual 40k, the game. So if you want to check that out, it's just some great fun. It's two noobs just learning. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you on the next video.